everyone, it's Damon. I'm doing a couple of back-to-back videos today because I did a reaction to Black Widow because that came out earlier today. I was planning to do that as I got home, as I was working today, and I just noticed on YouTube while I was parked before I was on my way home today, I noticed the final trailer right there, for Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, the big 5-episode crossover that starts this Sunday on the CW on all of the Arrowverse shows. Yeah, I think it starts with Supergirl, and then I don't know which one is next, either Batwoman or the Flash. That's all coming next week, and then in January it will conclude in Arrow and then a special episode of Legends of Tomorrow. And I have a confession to make, though. I have not really watched any of the Arrowverse shows too much. I think because it wasn't an Arrowverse in the beginning; it was just Arrow, and I wasn't really a big fan of Green Arrow. I kind of liked him when I watched Smallville, but this was completely different, and I wasn't really into it so much. But then I think 2 years into it, they introduced the Flash, and then they did the spinoff, and I liked the Flash, and I wanted to watch it. But I felt like I didn't really want to start watching it until I caught up with Arrow, but I just never got around to it. And then the years went by, and they did Supergirl, and then Legends of Tomorrow, and now Batwoman. And there's just so much to catch up to. I know I have a lot of catching up to do on these shows. But I did check out the Elseworlds crossover last year and really enjoyed it. Even though I didn't know much about the backstory of the characters or any of the plots that were going on, I still enjoyed it. And then they revealed at the end of last year's crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I did not even know that they were planning this at all. And I've just been reading about it, and I've just been getting more and more excited about this. Just a little bit of backstory on that. Like, Crisis on Infinite Earths was, I mean, like, when I first started getting into comics, like when I entered high school in the late 80s, and I really started getting into it, and I had friends in school lending me comics, and they lent me the original 1985 series. When I read that thing, I was blown away. I mean, it was more than I could have ever imagined. I never in my wildest dreams had ever thought that a comic book story could be so deep and so complex and just out there with all of these characters I never knew about. Well, that's what really got me into all of this, and it's inspired me. It's inspired all these ideas that I've wanted to do in my own fiction writing. And it's just I'm really looking forward to this. And one other confession is that I actually kind of started watching this earlier today. I think I got about 15 seconds into it, and I just saw it, and I was like, oh boy, I need to stop, because I think I needed to react to it, because I was starting to get really excited. So I will talk more about the original story in a minute and what I'm hoping, but let's just watch this first, and because I think this is about 2 minutes. So let's just load this up. I'm ready. All right, let's go.
The multiverse. Every existence multiplied by possibility and spread out in infinite measure. Now there is a malevolent force at work, one driven by a singular goal. The destruction of all there is.
There's a wave of antimatter sweeping across this universe, destroying everything in its path. I brought you all to Earth 38 because this is where the Monitor wants you to make your stand.
Right, so we are going to need a bigger team.
You want some help?
The entire universe needs you.
Across space and time exist 7 heroes who can't save the multiverse.
I'll find them. You are Clark Kent, right?
Oh yeah!
Kate.
Oh yeah!
We need your help.
to stop this antimatter wave.
All right, then Flash.
Oliver, it is time. Has the planet been evacuated yet? Not entirely. Then it's not time.
One thing is certain. Everything we know,
Oh, pariah.
everything there is, and everything there ever was, is doomed.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I got the chills. Oh, man. All right. All right. All right, hold on a minute. Here we go. So, this is the hardcover. When they first published this, I don't even remember when, late 90s or so. This was like the first time they ever collected this. This is the original story. Look at how big this story is. For those who don't really know, this is what it's all about right here. This is, I mean, obviously this is not going to be as huge as this was because of just the limited nature of this and the limited amount of characters they have, but this was the original thing right here. I mean, the death of Supergirl, the death of Barry Allen. I mean, just look at this. Yeah, him running like so fast that he basically decayed. Like he just ran himself out of existence. And Anti-Monitor was so powerful that he killed Supergirl. And this is the original. They've rebooted reality, of course, a few times. They've rebooted the comics and stuff. It's part of the reason why I'm not reading it anymore. Just so I don't really read comics because I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. It's not the stuff that I grew up reading. So I think I kind of understand a little bit about how people back then felt when they rebooted everything. It's kind of how I felt now. But yeah, this is, see how huge this thing. This was 12 issues, and this is like really high quality stuff here. That's why this is so thick, this book. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this so much because they're bringing back all these incarnations of characters like Smallville, and that's a show also I never watched from the beginning. I think I saw like the last 4 seasons of it. And this was the reason why I kind of started watching Smallville. This was back when I was still a single guy and watching Laura Vandervoort as Supergirl. I was like, okay, I need to watch her. I mean, hey, that's why I watched it. But I ended up seeing how great of a show it was too. It was just, I mean, I had heard that it was good, and and then I saw right there Kevin Conroy is appearing as Batman or Bruce Wayne. I hope he appears as Batman. I mean, geez, I mean, why not? He really should. They didn't show Brandon Routh, but he's in it as the Kingdom Come Superman. Burt Ward is supposed to show up. We can only assume he has to be showing up as Robin. Who else would he be? And we saw John Wesley Shipp as the Flash. He was in the Elseworlds crossover last year, which is partly why I watched that too, because I was like, oh, I need to watch that. I love that old show, even though it was only on for 1 season. And apparently, hopefully, there'll be a few surprise cameos that we haven't heard about. It would really be great if Linda Carter was in this as Wonder Woman. Who knows? Yeah, I think that Birds of Prey series too. The one actress from that, I think, is going to be in it as the Huntress. I checked that out back then. I wasn't too impressed with the show, but I had watched it a little bit. But this is the event that, like the DC, like the movies, this is what they should have been building to. If the executives at Warner Brothers had any brains whatsoever, this is what they would have connected everything together and built. This would have been their Infinity War, and it would have been epic. And they could have done literally anything. they could have brought back all of these old incarnations of characters. They would have a much bigger budget for that, and they could have literally just brought every single incarnation of everything they've done and brought it all together and just bam, destroy everything and make it one universe, which is what the original story did. Doing this, I love the concept of this story. It just if they're doing any little things like hopefully they'll throw some stuff in there. Like I don't know if they will, like doing like merging the past, present, and future and making it all one thing when they merge the remaining Earths together. Who knows what they'll do, and who knows how it will end. And again, like I said, I don't really know much about these shows. I will probably appreciate it a lot more when I catch up with it all someday. Um, but who cares? I am super excited for this crossover, and that just got me even more excited. Finally seeing Tom Welling, Kevin Conroy in it is just yeah. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my reaction. What are your thoughts on this? Have you been? Do you think this is going to live up to the hype? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy this video and the content I put out. And until next time.